There has been a lot of conversation and a lot of chatter around the fact that Israel, by and large, have been unaffected when it comes to the world of international sport, especially when you consider what has been taking place in the Gaza Strip and in the land of Palestine. Now, it is worth noting that unlike the war in Russia, which saw a lot of nations move swiftly to ensure that Russian athletes would be banned and that Russian participation would be limited in most events, there hasn't been such a similar movement for Israel. That is, of course, until now, because now we are finally getting to hear that Israel could be facing some degree of sanctions for, of course, what is happening in the or the realm beyond the world of football. So, what it is that we are getting to hear, and truth be told, how likely is it to impact Israel's potential chances of playing in the FIFA World Cup? Well, that's what we'll discuss. But first, let's quickly take a look at how it is that the situation is going. There are multiple reports emerging which state that UEFA is all set to hand out a suspension to Israel's team, and in fact this is a very stern response to the war that is currently taking place in Gaza, and it is expected that of the major members, most will vote to actually ensure that suspension is handed out to Israeli football as a whole. But what exactly does that mean for their FIFA World Cup hopes? Does this also mean that they're going to be headed for an exclusion from the FIFA World Cup as well? And that's an important question, because technically they still remain in with a chance of qualifying for next year's edition of the tournament. Well, answering that is a little bit more complicated and would move into the realm or territory of geopolitics. Now, we're obviously a sports channel, but it is worth covering, at least to an extent, in this particular case. Well, it is worth noting also that FIFA's stance on this entire matter is not quite as clear as UEFA's. It seems, in fact, almost unlikely that FIFA would ban Israel or try and work for their exclusion, because they do have powerful political allies, and what exactly that is the case we'll get to in a bit. But Israel, as I mentioned, could qualify for the World Cup, and they do have big political backers in the realm of international geopolitics, which could make banning them from FIFA tournaments less complicated. Now, as I said, it is interesting to note the difference, because UEFA could technically do it, and that would mean that Israel would no longer be able to take part in Euro qualifiers, Euro, the League of Nations, and any friendlies against European nations. But it does not discount them from FIFA World Cup qualification, because the ambit of that comes under FIFA, and FIFA would have to separately move to ban Israel if they are to be removed from contention for next year's FIFA World Cup. And that seems unlikely due to one reason. Israel have a very powerful political ally in the United States of America, who happen to be one of the hosts, in fact the main host for the FIFA World Cup of 2026. And the political message coming out from America is that they will do everything they can to ensure that Israel get the chance to play should they qualify. Here's something that came from the US State Department. It's a quote that's been widely circulating in newspapers and media outlets, where they say that we will absolutely work to fully stop any effort to attempt to ban Israel's national football team from the World Cup. This is a US State Department spokesperson who is saying this to multiple media outlets, which means that the message is coming directly from the Donald Trump administration. Now, this is where things get more complicated, because again, it would seem logical, right, that you'd ban Israel given the war situation that is taking place in Gaza, and the fact that there have been now confirmed reports from the United Nations also stating that what is happening in the nation of Gaza and what is being perpetrated by Israel is very much a genocide, and that they have committed numerous war crimes. It is very interesting to note that they move much quicker to alienate Russia, but there has been no such major move as of yet to alienate Israel. It seems to be starting, but that's just it. It is a start. Even if UEFA were to ban Israel from playing in European qualifications and prevent them from taking part in the Euros, they could very well make it to the World Cup and be playing there. It does lead to a lot of questions about whether or not priorities are solid enough. But one thing we've noticed when it comes to FIFA, this is the same FIFA now that allowed Qatar to host the FIFA World Cup in 2022, despite concerns over human rights and a lot of draconian laws and the nature around which the stadiums were built. Their slave labor laws are seen as very, very outdated and exploitative. And don't forget, 2034 is going to see Saudi Arabia, another nation with similar problems when it comes to laws, human rights, and whatnot, getting to host the FIFA World Cup. So, what exactly is FIFA's motive? Is it money? Is it vested interest? Is it becoming a geopolitical force? We don't really know what the case is when it comes to FIFA and Infantino, but this could be the start of what could become a very messy situation. This is by no means the end of the matter. It could very well be the beginning of the matter. But what are your thoughts on the entire matter? You could let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon as well so you know when we go live or upload a new video. Follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook, and don't forget to stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.